shock to know love and peace. Let's say thanks to the police all around, especially in town. No one couldn't walk alone. Town was like a battle zone, but nowadays and so I am all shocked to know love.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. It is Monday, and of course, every Monday on the Now Morning Show, the TTPS joins us this morning in the form of Inspector Michelle Lewis. Good morning to you, Inspector.
And good morning to you, my dear. How are you all?
Good. We good, you know?
Yeah.
Long time we ain't talk, Inspector.
Long time. The Olympics had us occupied.
So it does go sometimes. But we are back.
Yes,
and
good morning.
we have lots of information to discuss, lots of things happening in the country.
Yes.
But this morning in particular, we want to focus on runaways and missing persons.
Correct.
We've been seeing a proliferation of people missing. It's been happening quite a lot.
Yes.
So tell me from your perspective.
Yes. So we do have proliferation, if we were to use your word. And when we look at the figures, particularly during the July-August vacation time, we generally tend to see an increase in young persons or children running away or missing, right? Because once they run away and the parent or guardian report, it will be a report of a missing person. So this morning, what we want to do is share some information to parents and guardians so that people are aware of what to look for and what could be the possible causes why a child would run away and be reported missing. Now, even though we have children who are reported missing, in most cases it's through runaway, we also have adults who are reported missing. And in some of those cases, it may be for ransom, kidnapping, and that kind of thing when the evidence and the investigation progresses. So this morning, we look at, in the first instance, children.
Okay, so as you mentioned in the first instance, children, is there a particular age group that you tend to find is more likely to or has been reported statistically to run away at a higher rate?
Mainly the teenage years. So a child is anybody under the age of 18. So you'll get 16, 15, 17, 13 even at times. So we get more the teenage years when that level, age of adolescence kicks in. And we see that increase mainly in girls. So we have a higher increase of runaway girls than boys.
And what causes this?
A lot of times it's because the girl is infatuated with someone. And that is a cause why they would run away. Now, when someone runs away, a girl in particular, because the records show that the increase is higher for females, it is because that they may be feeling less loved or appreciated at home, and so feel that they need to go somewhere else for it. Right? So we see an increase in relation to girls in particular. Not that the boys don't, but for girls it is more for infatuation. And we also see during this, we're coming into the results of the CSEC.
Okay.
And wherever you have the results and that anticipation and that anxiety from both the parent and the child who have written CSEC, you find that when the child does not perform academically, as is the expectation of the parent or guardian, you also see that child may run away to somewhere or into the hands of someone else. So that is also a cause why persons or children in particular run away.
Okay.
Right, so it's important to know, even because today is the 12th of August, so anytime soon we can see the results coming out. And what kicks in as well is depression, which can sometimes lead to suicide. So it's important that parents understand that even though your child may not at this occasion academically achieve what you expect that child to achieve, that you temper that with wisdom and caution in terms of ensuring that the self-esteem of that child does not go down and that child still feels valued and loved and appreciated by you, and that there's another opportunity for the child to succeed in whatever area that the child wants to succeed in.
Okay, so
we see those are reasons why children run away.
What other reasons would you say, or what other causative factors are there that would contribute to children running away from home?
In the cases of boys, in the cases of male, sometimes with their association with gang activities. They may go missing for a couple of days because they want to associate with a group of persons who are involved in gang-related activities. And so when they return home and we ask them where they were, they would say they was by this person's house, probably a house that there is no adult in particular who's there, and that child is just there basically doing what they want, right? A group of young persons. So those are some of the reasons that we see why young people in particular, and we're looking at the July-August vacation period, and the amount of children who are at home in a lot of cases who are unsupervised and who have a lot of time to their hands, and of course the use of internet and the access of internet and the information there.
I just want to clarify something, Inspector. How do we define the difference between a child who's run away versus a child who is missing, or is it both the same until we get back that child and we figure out what happened?
Correct. So the child that has run away, in the eyes of the police, is considered a missing person.
Right.
So you will see on our Facebook page, and information that we'll share with the media is that that child is missing. And you will see the age of the child and that kind of thing. And it usually would be that we include anti-kidnapping into the matter as well, because we are not too sure where and what would have caused the child to run away. It's only when the investigation unearthed that we actually can say that it was a runaway and not a kidnapping or something else, right?
What is the time frame for reporting a child, especially as missing?
There is no time frame.
Okay.
So there was years, many years ago, where there was a 24-hour period, but that has gone over 15 years now. So once you know that your child, you try to communicate with your child as the guardian of the child, or even someone who's close to the child, and you recognize that you're not getting through to the person, you come and you make a report to the police service. Most times, you would be able, or you ought to be able to tell us what the child was wearing, and a good description of the child, and an up-to-date photo of the child that we can use that can, tell persons that, all right, this is a true resemblance of what the child looks like. No, those are things that we need as soon as, and sometimes what causes a delay is when the parent doesn't have a photo to provide to us that we can actually share in social media of the look of the child at the point in time, as opposed to just the name and the age of the child.
Now, Inspector, one of the things that's been very interesting for me is seeing when all these missing people come up. In some cases, we have the assistance of citizens. We have the assistance of the Hunters Search and Rescue. Do we endorse and support that as the TTPS?
Any help that the TTPS gets in relation to solving crimes and ensuring that persons come back safely to the family, we appreciate. So we recognize that there are different persons who would assist from time to time, and we appreciate that. And so
well, I also wanted to find out, Inspector, in terms of when a person goes missing, right? We have is there a certain amount of time before the police decide that this is now a cold case and we don't have any more evidence to lead us in any direction? At what point do we say we have stopped searching? Is there ever a point?
No, there is no. So the person is missing, the file will be active.
Okay.
Especially if it's children, right? So the matter will always be there, and person at some point in time will give us information. What we like, though, is when persons have information to share it with us, share it with the police, as opposed to outside of the service where we don't have that information to be able to solve the matter. And so where we have children who are missing, the matters are generally open, specifically.
Okay. What about collaboration particularly? Because we've seen stories, or at least I have also grown up with stories, where people have gone missing as children, and there have been rumors that they have been shipped out, human trafficking and so forth. So where does the relationship with international bodies come in to work on missing and runaway people?
Yeah, we do work closely with Interpol and United Nations and other agencies in relation to the recovery of children who would have gone either through human trafficking. Sometimes it's because one parent also would have taken the child to another country. And so that is also a cause why a child would be reported missing until. So you have the agencies and the government, the Attorney General Office and the different state agencies, because they're looking at a higher level in terms of the collaboration and different laws in relation to coalition within the world, really, and not just the region where you have missing persons.
Mm-hmm. How can we help, Inspector, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago?
Where you see something, say something. And it's something that people always hear the police saying, and we say it a lot. But sometimes the child might be in the house, and you're seeing the child in the house, call us and let us know. Harboring a citizen or someone who has been reported missing, and being part and parcel of that can cause you to also be charged, because we know that there are aspects of laws that the members of the public may not be aware of. And case in point was the incident with the maxi taxi and the woman police officer who requested the assistance. Mm-hmm. And so the law does not provide for ignorance. So there's this common saying that ignorance of the law is no excuse. So that if it is that you see this child next to you or in your home, this is not your child or a relative, you are harboring someone's child and you can be charged for that. Right? So these are cases where we encourage persons and we admonish persons to come forward and share that information. Because if it is your child, you will not want that child somewhere else. And so it's important that the public keep their eyes and their ears open to be able to help our young people in particular, because sometimes they make mistakes and sometimes they make foolish decisions. And like I use the word infatuation, so they don't have it all correct. But here is where we as adults and guardians have to guide them and help them to get back on the right path. So it's important that we share that information with the police and come forward and let us know where a child can be so that we can investigate.
Well, thank you so much.
Back home.
Thank you so much, Inspector, for sharing that and giving us key insight that I know we're going to be able to apply. And we look forward to seeing you back next week for another conversation.
Of course, always a pleasure. And thanks again for having the TTPS here.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. Stay tuned. This is the Now Morning Show. Coming up after this break, it's time for your birthdays.
But nowadays and so, I am all shocked to know love.